this is just a microcosm of all the things, all the lessons that I'm learning. I gotta share as I go. I gotta do this as pell-mell as I've ever done anything. No embarrassment left. Bear it all, and I'm a liar. But just a little introspective. This is what I am now. So, and this is me today, or this is me right this moment, and this is what I'm doing. Thinking about relationships, selfishness, open hearts, closed hearts. My cats. I was skittish up until 5 minutes ago. I was skittish about pulling ticks off of my cats. It just bothers me. It's just the thought of it. You probably know what I mean if you can relate. And so I had this dilemma, like ignore them, or maybe it's not a tick, or maybe somebody else, a friend that's into animals, come around, and pull ticks off, and clip toenails and whatnot. By the way, Doug, take the opportunity to just say I'm sorry to my old friend Doug. All right, words can't express, but anyway, maybe one day I can work on mending that too. I think I am working on mending that, and it's positive results. All right, so, and my cat, I was skittish about helping him out. We're just going to talk about Douglas. When he got in his first fight, when I first put him outside, he was going to die. He was going to die. And that was because my heart was closed. All right? The ticks that I can't bring myself to, through hang-ups, to grab and pull from his skin, and especially with the long fur, and then knowing you're hurting him by either detaching the tick or ripping his hair out with it. And he and I had such a tumultuous start. I don't know if he was abused before I got him. I got him and Pris, brother and sister, at 3 months old. And he was not affectionate at all. He did not want to be held. He is so opposite right now. And I can't help but feel that this is all God's perfect timing, amongst every other thing. I'm taking a minute to just be calm, and again, I got all these plans for today, manic, just as same as yesterday. I have all these great videos, what I consider great videos, whatever, it doesn't really matter. So Douglas got injured and he had abscesses, and the thought of all of that stuff, I apologize for how this comes out, but I understand now how, same thing with the medical industry. I can never be a doctor. I can never be a nurse. I can never help. And it all connects. I can never help. Can't stand the sight of blood. How do those people do it? How do they do it? How can you do that? And especially losing patients and trauma and all of it. And I have this microcosm with my little Douglas, and it relates to all my relationships and loving relationships and my narcissism and it being about me, and this is all in relation to my Baba, who has taught me this, and the best I could do is sell it and or not sell it, and you buy it or not buy it, if that's the relationship between us. And so Douglas went for a few days where he progressively got worse, and I could see it. And at the time, I had a house for him underneath the porch, an outside house, but it didn't have access. It was a hole big enough for him to get in. It was a big house with a deck and whatnot, but and a mezzanine. But there was only a hole big enough, and I knew he was injured. And, I kept hoping for the best, because my heart was closed. And it's just a microcosm. my heart was closed to my Douglas, my precious little cat. And again, we didn't even have a great relationship, so, I had all those kind of thoughts that you don't like to speak about. But if you're being honest with yourself, um, I don't know, if he runs away, especially in poverty, and all the guilt and shame of not being able to even feed your cats or buy litter and those kind of things, and putting him outside as much as possible to save money on litter. So he was injured and going through this over a couple of days, and everything got worse. Not eating, not drinking, lethargic, and mostly in the house, in his cat house. And it got more and more in the cat house, and all these things are going through my head. And at one point, my heart opened. That's all. I mean, that's all I could say. I was actually, first I said, I got to actively do something because this isn't like an injury he's going to recover from. So, injuries. Oh, poor Douglas. And I knew he was injured, so I didn't want to reach in and hurt him, pulling him out of the cat house, all these excuses maybe. But my heart was still closed because if you open your heart, you're afraid it'll break. You're afraid you'll never close it, and you need to keep yourself protected from the world and relationships and everything else. And I'm going to get back to the ticks, and then I'm going to get back to whatever it is I'm going to do today. I don't know, 1 minute to the next. This is how it's going for me. This is me today. And how I was trying to coax him out of the room, the cat house, by putting food outside the door. I was feeding him, hand feeding him inside, and he wasn't really very interested the less as time went on. And it was getting desperate. And my heart opened, and I just said, he's going to die. He's going to die. So I had to open my heart and get over my hang-ups to help him. He's here with me today, and so much joy, so much joy. He's my guru. My Douglas is my guru in drag. So I pulled him out. I nursed him back to health. And ever since then, we've had such a special bond. And better every day, sweeter every day, more, but I'm still dealing with the poverty issues and all of this, So they're still kept at arm's distance because they're only animals, But I'm realizing through all of this, I mean, today, just 10 minutes ago, whatever, before I started this stream, 5 minutes before I started this stream, I opened my heart again in all this reflection. And as it is as much of a hang-up as anything for me to pull ticks off. Ticks, oh my God. And funny that I mentioned my old friend Doug, because there's a connection with ticks. I'm just realizing this. You see it. It's spontaneous. My friend Doug with the ticks, that's all I'm going to say about that. But my cat, while not named after Douglas, there's a big connection with my cats, Pris and Douglas, with my old friend. And hopefully one day again, my friend, you don't know how people are going to receive things. So I have been reaching out to him. Even, everything was culminating up to this. I thought it was death. I kept, telling my people, my followers, it's coming soon, something's coming soon, I feel it. Beyond your wildest dreams. So 5 minutes ago, and every time I thought there was only one more, I found another one and another one. And he sat so nicely for me, did not cry once. I thought he was going to cry. On the last one, which I thought I had already cleared him, and then I just found this one by his ear, which is where I started. There were two. I felt two by his ear. I pulled two off. There was another one big, and I don't know if they were gorged or if they were, I don't know how all that shit works. Ticks, it bothers me. It's a tick of mine, if you will. And I pulled those ticks. I did them all, and I did them joyfully because I was opening my heart, because instead of my hang up and keeping my heart closed, I was helping a friend. And that's it. That's my story. I hope you all have a blessed day. I love you all. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourselves. Self-reflect on things. I want to take you all with me. Otherwise, it's not worth it. Peace.